Next to riches are so that Syria. I gotta keep pushing for the fortune and fame. It's a long game when it's just a game. Treated like capital crime. Everybody's doing their time. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you
dear Commissioner Gabriel, dear Minister Denkov, dear rectors of the University Alliance ENGAGE.EU, dear rectors of Bulgarian universities, distinguished guests. My name is Mikhail Musov, and I'm the Vice Rector for Research and International Affairs at the host university today, the University of National and World Economy. And it is my very great honor and pleasure to moderate this event in this very, very esteemed company. I'm sure you're very well aware that we are faced today with ever-increasing societal, environmental, health challenges. Without universities, those challenges cannot be addressed adequately. So society needs universities more than ever before. Yet, right now, universities are also facing a lot of challenges. Long-term wise effect for finding sustainable solutions lies in supporting the unique collaboration among the best universities. ENGAGE.EU, the University Alliance engaged in societal change, is one of those top universities. And today, we're celebrating its expansion, which is the path to ensure relevance and leadership today and also in the future. I can think of no better way to introduce you to the event than a very warm welcome from those who have first been listed into the list of masterpieces of World Intangible Cultural Heritage of UNESCO and now are famous all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the stage, Bistrica Babi.
Zajde, rosa.
Thank you very much, dear ladies. What you're doing is amazing. And it is a miracle how they have managed to make their uniqueness throughout the centuries sustainable. Our sustainable future is the topic today. How could universities contribute to the green and digital transitions? How ENGAGE.EU, after its expansion, could become the university alliance that is a world leader in providing teaching, research and innovation, and societal outreach. That is why I would like to invite on the stage our distinguished speakers today. The Rector of the University of National and World Economy, Professor Dimitar Dimitrov. The Rector of the University of Mannheim, the coordinating university, Professor Thomas Poole. The Minister of Education and Science of Republic of Bulgaria, Academic Nikolai Denkov. Okay. And the Commissioner for Innovation, Research, Culture, Education and Youth, Mariya Gabriel. Now I would like to give the floor to Professor Dimitrov to welcome you and to declare this special event open. Mr. Rector.
Dear Commissioner Gabriel, dear Minister, dear Rectors of the University Alliance ENGAGE.EU, dear Rectors of universities from Bulgaria, distinguished colleagues, it's a great pleasure to welcome all of you today. Thank you for being here at this very special day. Just a few days ago, we celebrated 102nd anniversary of our university and the Day of Bulgarian Education and Culture and Bulgarian Alphabet. And now, today, we are celebrating the expansion of our European University, ENGAGE.EU. I'm very delighted that Commissioner Gabriel were able to come to meet us to have the keynote speech at this event for today and to attend the official ENGAGE.EU extension ceremony. I'm sure that we all are very well aware that such kind of direct contacts are useful for all of us for developing appropriate policy choices and for further rollout of the European University Initiative. Societal challenges cannot be solved without universities, but the opposite also holds true. The challenges for the universities cannot be solved without the strong support of the Commission and the Member States. The work is not done. Instead, the achievement of the ambitious vision of the European education area and European research area is an ongoing co-creation process. Together, we have the passion, energy, and the power to make things happen in the best possible way, to be part of this co-creation process and to make it happen for the benefits of our students and society. I cannot imagine better prize for us. And at the end of my welcoming address, I would like to say that we are streaming this event to all of the university networks, 41 and 280 universities in Europe. They have the opportunity to watch our event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rector. Now let me give the floor to Professor Thomas Poole to welcome you and to introduce you briefly to ENGAGE.EU, our university alliance. Mr. Rector, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Michael. Dear Commissioner Gabriel, dear Minister Denko, dear Dimitar, thank you very much for being here and helping us along over this step of widening our alliance, widening this European University expansion by new partners, 2 new partners. We're very happy about that. The history of our alliance started roughly 4 years ago in a hotel in the basement of Herzliya in Israel. At that time we thought, first of all, we want to do something like that. We want to apply for such a support of the European Union to become a real European university. And we still hoped that Israel might be part of the project, which it couldn't, unfortunately. But we've set forth the project, and some people are sitting here, Margarete, for example, Dirk Simons is sitting somewhere, etc., other people who were there at the time. And then we wrote down a proposal, and we succeeded. And now we have had the support of the funding of Europe for the past 17 months or so. So that's not a very long period of time to set anything alive, to make real progress. But I think we have done pretty good things, and I'm very proud about that. We heard about the progress that we made in different fields today. I don't know, do we have slides that show something different, or do we always have the same picture here? Because, first of all, then I would like to mention the name. We named ourselves ENGAGE.EU. That's the university, the European University, engaged in societal change. We have lots of societal change. We have the European and the worldwide SDGs, but they're constantly challenged by new things that happen. We thought about aging society, we thought about migration, we thought about difficulty in growth, distribution, etc. And now all of a sudden we must think of food, energy, diplomacy, security. These are new issues. I don't know exactly whether we actually will tackle these, but evidently there are new challenges that we have to face. And I'm very proud that we, as so far 7 and later on 9 universities, combine the research capacity and teaching capacity to really cope with the answers and answer these questions that are risen by the current situations. And we do that on different levels. We do it with learners, because universities are teaching people. They are formating people. It's basically students, but it's also other people like lifelong learners, practitioners. And that's an important issue. We do research-based teaching, not any teaching, research-based. That is the forefront of knowledge that we have today. We give that to our youth, who will then in turn shape the future of Europe. That is our job. And we do it especially not sitting in an ivory tower of science, but collaborating with practitioners. So for example, the institution of X labs, of experience labs, are very important to us, so that we really integrate the questions of society, of practically working people, to the research that we do and to the teaching back of students. I think that's very important. And I have to read that because I don't know everything by heart. Just a joint program that we are having addresses sustainability and climate change. Another one will be on global sustainability and management, because we are having this specific profile of business, economic, and social sciences. We have a summer school in climate and energy transitions. We have one in culture, innovation, and entrepreneurship, so bringing together cultural workers plus economic and business knowledge, so that artists get to know how to run an enterprise, and people who are already in business learn what the specific needs of cultural workers, of artists are. So bringing together different worlds, that's one of our tools. And we had in Lewis this past April this program, this X Lab with law, sustainability, and digitalization. So these are issues that we are bringing together and hoping to form with that solutions for answers that are put down on the floor today, and that are the questions of the future, constantly changing answers and constantly changing questions. That's a typical good job for research universities. And we're very, very happy to be together with such strong partners, and now to expand this alliance by two important partners. And we're going to have you on stage in a moment, but I think Michael, you are the master of ceremony, and now you must give us the next steps, right? Okay, so do so. That's your job.
Thank you very much, dear Professor. Now I would like to give the floor to the Minister of Education and Science. Dear Minister, we're really very delighted that you are able to come and to welcome the ENGAGE.EU rectors. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Gabriel, Professor Dimitrov, Professor Poole, dear rectors, dear colleagues. It's an honor to be here, so thank you for the invitation, and a pleasure as well. As a minister of our institution, I realized that we have three very different and very important roles in this story. The first one is that we should support our 5 universities that are already full members of different alliances, and there are 2 others that are associated members. And I know it's not easy. Today we had already some discussion about the challenges, about the differences between the countries, and our ministries should support and help our universities to feel comfortable in these complex structures. The second role is to work together with the Commission, with the Commissioner Gabriel in particular, in building the European educational area and European research area. We should feel as full members of this community, and I know that we still owe some more intensive contribution in building our future together, because the Bulgarian experience is different from the experience in Germany, in the Netherlands, and the other countries. And I promise that we will become more active in this. And the third role is also equally important. This is to implement the best practices that have been developed in the other countries and to implement them in Bulgaria. Unfortunately, we are still discussing what are the differences in the publication habits in natural sciences and social sciences. We're still discussing whether we should publish in international journals. We're still discussing whether we should connect the education and research and how we should involve the innovations in our education system. These are all questions that had been answered many years ago in the developed countries. If Bulgaria wants to be a developed country, we should stop arguing. We should still what are the answers that had been found years ago in the other countries, and how we should adapt them, because they cannot be directly implemented, how we should adapt them to the Bulgarian universities. And I consider this as one of my main priorities for the next period. So I wish you success, and I really want to learn how you have done this and how we can do this in Bulgaria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Minister. Also, thanks to the Ministry for the great support to our University Alliance. It is highly appreciated by all the partners. And now, I am very delighted to welcome Commissioner Gabriel to deliver the keynote speech for today. Dear Commissioner, welcome and thank you on behalf of all our ENGAGE.EU community for accepting our invitation. Welcome.
Thank you very much, dear Minister, dear rectors of ENGAGE.EU European University Alliance, dear rectors, dear members of the higher education community, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to say thank you. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. I think that for every one of us, this is something very special. First, because we had a very interesting discussion earlier this afternoon, which gave me a lot of food for thought. So I would like to say thank you very much, ENGAGE.EU, because when we say that the European Universities Alliances are the driver of our European universities for the future, it's absolutely true. It's enough just to listen to you. And now comes the moment of celebration, the moment to celebrate. And I think that it is very fitting that we started this part of the program with music and dance. Thank you to Бистрица Баби, Бистришките баби, благодаря от все сърце, комисар съм и за културата. Thank you for the great performance and thank you for showing us how, with culture, we continue to affirm something that we have unique as Europe. That's our sense of belonging to a community, thanks to culture and thanks to education. So now we have a lot to celebrate as we are about to welcome 2 more universities, 2 new partners to ENGAGE.EU. A warm welcome to you. You know, from the start, the European universities were meant to be more than a project. You are demonstrating this with ENGAGE.EU. You are forming an alliance of higher education institutions with a shared vision and goals to the benefit of all your learners. And I have always strongly believed that alliances are meant to keep growing it if they wish so. It is important to remain open, to welcome new partners who will give new impetus and bring new ideas. Partners who are sharing common aspirations. And I'm delighted to be with you as 2 more universities are about to join ENGAGE.EU. The Hanken School of Economics in Helsinki and Ramon Llull University of Barcelona. Thank you very much. I'm sure that your creativity and experience will be wonderful added value to ENGAGE.EU long-term vision. So, the main message, you can count on the Commission to support you. You can count on my firm support. I appreciate your shared commitment to building bridges across disciplines, respect academic freedom, institutional autonomy, and geographical balance. And as your joint campus grows, and with it the common course catalog, as well as the real and virtual mobility opportunities, the true winners of this ENGAGE.EU expansion will be your students and researchers. Your new joint path as an enlarged alliance will contribute to making the higher education sector in Europe stronger and more competitive. Together, you will be able to bring more value to our societies. And one of these added values lies, without any doubt, in the leading role the higher education sector plays in the green and digital transitions. And I know you will agree with me. I saw that the plans of ENGAGE.EU include the development of skills for the green and digital transition, with the creation of multidisciplinary joint programs at bachelor and master level, covering digital transformation, sustainability and climate change, and responsible management. So I'm already looking forward to learn more about the important outputs these programs will result in. Now, it's time really to stay much more focused on green and digital. And I would like just at the beginning to say that for me, universities are our only chance, if you'd like, sanctuaries of the wisdom acquired by our societies long ago. On the contrary, they have to build on the knowledge they guard and use it to always push further. It is encouraging to see that you agree with this assessment, that you evolve as you transform higher education and as you work hard to make transnational universities a reality. And I cannot stress enough how important this is. More concretely now, when it comes to the green transition, higher education, of course, has a key role to play. In fact, the contributions universities can make are so rich that it takes a long time to name them all. You are conducting research to find solutions to environmental and climate challenges in cooperation with industry and society. We are also helping students in developing climate and environmental literacy across all levels and disciplines, and many of you go further through community engagement. And I always encourage higher education institutions to, whenever possible, also inspire environmental sustainability through their infrastructure and operations. Ultimately, your research and innovation activities feed into our work in Brussels and in capitals, as it constitutes a solid ground for environmental-related policies, innovation, and measures. So, together with my team, we are here to help you. And I really hope that the measures that we already have proposed in our European strategy for universities will be useful for you. Of course, European strategy for universities with some concrete examples. First, you know that we organize peer learning and the sharing of best practices. Minister, you insisted a lot on this, and it's really vital. We need to continue to promote this exchange of good practices between member states, putting policies in place, and that will help your important work. What worked well in one member state might work just as well as in others. Maybe in others not so much, but precisely, let's talk about the difference and let's see how we can adapt. Of course, it's not only about sharing best practices and peer learning. Of course, we need to talk about funding. And yes, our first reference here is Erasmus Plus program. It's true that we'll use the new Erasmus Plus program with the new budget of 28 billion euros to be there for you so you can mainstream environmental sustainability across infrastructure, operations, different initiatives that you have. And you know that environmental and climate goals are now an overarching priority of Erasmus+, which promotes the incorporation of good practices in all projects. No need, I guess, to tell you that 35% of Horizon Euro budget is dedicated to climate change, and here we are talking on a different level of funding, but we are talking about a different level of difficulties and obstacles to tackle and solutions to propose too. Again, I count on you. We also have a green charter for the Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions, which promote the sustainable implementation of research activities. All participants are expected to adhere to the green charter on a best effort basis and to commit to as many of its provisions as possible during the implementation of their projects. Maybe some other examples. Here, for me as commissioner, it's always a little bit frustrating because we have some good ideas. They are already in the European strategy for universities, but going in different member states, going in different universities and regions, I am aware that we need to popularize some of those initiatives much more. I'm thinking here about the higher education climate frontrunners, a platform from transnational partnerships between students, academics, universities, employers, and communities on climate challenges. Not sure that that is very well known, but it's really up to us to transform this good idea, this platform into something that will be tangible, operational, and useful. Of course, I'm thinking about the Education for Climate Coalition, We've created this coalition 1 year ago, and I must say that always the same usual suspects are very active, and we need much more participants, much more activities, and yes, maybe much more examples of how this can be adequate to the needs of those regions or member states or partners that are not engaged too. So here I would like to very much welcome your idea for the ENGAGE.EU labs, because we need these challenge-based innovation spaces. But it's true that now the question is how, with your initiatives, how with the different visions of our alliances, we can create a critical mass of universities working on these issues, proposing solutions that are adequate to the needs of every single partner, and at the same time help us to affirm our own European leadership, the added value of our European approach to these issues. For the digital transition, that's the perfect bridge when we talk about the added value of our European approach. We need definitely to preserve it. It's true that we can all see that digital transition that's rapidly changing the way we learn, work, communicate. And here, again, I would like to reiterate, universities have a fundamental role to play. During first the COVID-19 pandemic, you have shown your extraordinary ability to adapt to the new situation. You have shown us a glimpse of a future based on hybrid learning solutions, with a good balance between physical presence and digital tools. And we all come to feel how important is that students and researchers are equipped with the digital skills and competencies they need as digital technologies penetrate all sectors of the economy. So again, here I count on you to identify where and how to intervene in your respective fields to equip our students with the necessary digital skills. Skills shortages, we have a lot in Europe. Of course, I would like to mention how important it is to work on this issue. It is clear that we are not making full use of Europe's potential, and I'm not talking here about much more need of experts in STEM education, but I'm thinking about more women when we talk about digital technologies, and you know what are the numbers and the figures in Europe. For me, what that means is that we need to work across the entire value chain, from early education to higher education to research and innovation. And I do believe that you can provide part of the answer with a specialized education offer in digital areas, for example, in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, or cloud computing. You know that microelectronics is now another strategic sector for us as Europe. But I would like from my side just to tell you that we'll support innovative, multidisciplinary education and training programs, not only through the European Universities Alliances Initiative and Horizon Europe, but through Digital Europe program too. So maybe sometime we need to pay a little bit more attention of how to build synergies, how we can avoid some of the errors of the past. And yeah, maybe the fact that I was the commissioner that created the Digital Europe program can help, but I need my community to be very active and vocal. Because don't forget that for the first time in this Digital Europe program, we have 700 million euros for advanced digital skills. We are not talking here about primary and secondary school and basic skills. And who else than our universities can definitely tell us what are the strategic areas, what are our strengths, and where there is a need now to invest in order to rapidly scale and to rapidly catch the pace and affirm our European leadership and have our talent pool here in Europe. So on this point, I count again on you. Maybe just one thing, when we talk about connected universities, that's another objective when we talk about digitalization. It's true that here sufficient digital capacity and infrastructure of universities is crucial, but it's true that wider use of digital tools will have to rely on new and trusted technologies and platforms. That will require interoperability, and here there is a lot of questions that we need to address. You can see, I'm firm supporter, but at the same time, I'm fully aware how difficult it is, especially in this field. So that's why, with the European Universities Alliances Initiative, with this additional budget, we would like to tackle these issues. Because if we don't tackle them now, in 5 years, it will be too late. So that's why I would like to share with you that we'll launch a targeted European digital platform to promote cooperation between higher education institutions. And we would like to announce this, my team knows me very well, before the end of the year. I think that if now we encourage our alliances to work on these issues, as European Commission, we have to be first there, at least to facilitate and to prepare some ground. Another final point, it's our structured dialogue with member states on digital education and skills. Again, another frustration. I'm always somehow obliged as commissioner to talk about this, but it's true that when we talk about digital skills, digitalization, universities, first time 1 year ago, we started this structured dialogue with our member state. Our intention is before the end of the year to identify what are the enabling factors in order to facilitate these obstacles linked to the digitalization with our universities and education systems. And that's why I mentioned this, because I very much hope that after the end of this year, our member states will not stay satisfied only with a good, nice, beautiful paper, but the factors will be transformed into concrete initiatives, especially because we have the national resilience and facility plans, and my team is aware that we are looking for making links and see how with the investments and the reforms that are proposed by our member states, these guidelines, these recommendations can be implemented. So I will stop here. I already took a lot of time. I would like finally to welcome again your societal outreach approach. You talk about interdisciplinary teams. What I like with ENGAGE.EU is that engagement, that means interaction, co-creation of new knowledge, of new solutions, and I think that that's exactly the good way. If we co-create, we innovate, and at the same time we are fully aware what are our common values and how we would like to achieve the goals in this direction on which we are looking together, I stay very confident. I'm confident that by joining forces, higher education institutions and policymakers can help the European Union to meet its ambitions on equipping citizens with digital skills, the abilities necessary for the green transition, and alliances like ENGAGE.EU will be immensely beneficial for this work. The entire European Universities Initiative shows that working across national boundaries makes us stronger and more creative, and European alliances like yours, with your innovative strategies, transnational activities, you are demonstrating the greatest thing, the added value of the European project. We are stronger when we are together. Thank you very much, ENGAGE.EU.
Thank you very much, dear Commissioner. In Europe, we can take real pride in the strength of our universities to find sustainable solutions of societal challenges. And this is largely due to your strong support and continuous dialogue. So now we're drawing close to the official signing ceremony, and I would like to give the floor to the rector of the coordinating university, Professor Thomas Poole, to lead this special ceremony. Professor Poole, now you are the master of the ceremony. Welcome.
Now things really get serious. Edeltraud, Professor Dr. Edeltraud Hanapi-Egger, will you come to the floor? She's rector of the University of Vienna, Wirtschaftsuniversität. Professor Øystein Torgersen, rector of the University of Bergen, Economic University. Professor Clémentine Bory, Toulouse Capitole 1. No, Toulouse 1 Capitole. That's right? Okay. Nice work. Professor Andrea Principe, Louis. Don't let me spell that out because that's too complicated for me. Professor Jantine Schoit. Ah, Schoit. Tilburg University. Professor Joseph Mariya Gabriel. Louis, no, Quatsch. Ramon Llull. And Professor Søren Koch, University of Hanken. Please join us all. And I think our job is now, the three of us, the two new ones, that's you and Søren and me, we step.
We are the witnesses.
Okay, I'm supposed to stand here, so
Yeah.
you're going to be over here, and we all sign and then exchange the documents, okay? Each of you can yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. No way back. Signature is firm. We're so happy because it really is an enrichment of our European university. We have a new university in business, which is strengthening the strong profile that we do already have. And we have another one, which is enlarging our span that we have in different subjects. And all that is most welcome to all of the colleagues that you see here. So, if you want to say a sentence or something to this new situation, up to you.
Here.
Wherever, I think.
Oh, there.
That's Michael's job, but I think yes.
Yeah. No, I would first of all, Madam Commissioner, Mr. Minister of Education and Science, directors, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for our business school, Hanken School of Economics, to be invited to the ENGAGE.EU. To some extent, it's a very big step for us as a small business school. But the step that we are taking is a very happy step, because internationalization has always been part of our activities. And as a standalone business school, we have a long history of cooperation, and we know how important trust is in long-term relationships. And now we are confident that we are among friends with the same goals and basic values. We are looking forward to a great future of cooperation, innovation, and reaching common goals. We will be a proud member of ENGAGE.EU. Thank you so much.
Commissioner, Minister, dear rectors, colleagues, authorities. It is a big pleasure and a big honor to be here today. And first of all, let me thank the old rectors, the initial group, the founder group of the Alliance for the invitation to join the project, for the invitation to join this alliance, and also for the opportunity that this represents for my university. Let me say that we feel that this is the place to be for lots of reasons. I mean to actively participate, to actively contribute to one of the alliances of the European Universities Initiative. That's the reason why you are extremely happy, extremely pleased to sign this agreement today, for being part of this extension of the ENGAGE.EU Alliance. If you take a look to the proposal of the European strategy for universities that the Commission and the Commissioner launched at the beginning of this year, it is easy to see that 3 out of the 4 flagships are closely related to the European Universities Initiative. The initiative itself, the joint European degree, the possible legal status of the alliances. The initiative, I know it is a pilot, but without no doubt it is going to pave the way of the future of cross-border cooperation among higher education institutions all across Europe. So this is the place to be. And finally, why joining ENGAGE.EU Alliance? If you have a look to the Alliance main objective, if you have a look to the mission, if you know the top universities that belong to the original group, the excellent and wonderful people that are running the project, if you believe that university must contribute to the education and also to the inspiration of new generation of European citizens that will contribute also to build a better world, to tackle with societal challenges from a transdisciplinary point of view, this is also the place to be. We will make our best to contribute to the success of the alliances, and we are looking forward to work with you. So, thanks a lot.
Any extra pictures or something? Obligations that we have to fulfill?
Pictures, maybe without this table.
Okay, in that case, I would like to ask you for permission for 1/2 sentence extra. That is, for hospitality, to Sofia go 12 points, 12 points. No, we missed something. Thank you.
One question.